Hi guys, this is Targan, and I am delighted to bring you today a new episode of My Mustache and Me, where we play Ikaruga. As the text on the screen says up there by the amazing flying robot, I will not die until I achieve something. Even though the ideal is high, I never give in. Therefore, I never die with regrets. Oh, now it's in the middle. Good stuff. So Ikaruga is a game that I have not played in a long time. A long time. But It it's a shooter. It's a lot of fun. It's difficult, and the first thing we're gonna do is not go to the credits. We're gonna cheat, right? We're gonna go to the game settings and turn it on to free play. We're gonna leave it on 3 lives, but we're gonna turn it on to free play because this used to be an arcade game. And what I want to do is play some Ikaruga today. I'm not trying to get through in a legitimate way. When you turn it on to free play, it's you can't get on the leaderboard or whatever. But yes, so we can't save high scores and so on. Yes, I would like to proceed. So default arcade mode. I think my controller is working for this. I haven't actually booted it up, but it should probably work. So we're gonna play on normal. So how Ikaruga works is you have a ship and it's white or black and you can swap the colors. And your enemies have ships and they're white or black and you can swap the colors. And you absorb your color and you can damage your color. But you can get hurt by things of the other polarity on normal. So like, if I'm in my white ship, all I have to worry about is black missiles. And whenever I build up things from absorbing, like whenever I get white shots that I run into, I absorb them. And then there's an attack that I can throw out later. I don't know what the keybind is for it. There you go. It's in the back. And I just, in doing that, failed. So this is level 1, so it's easy. But Ikaruga is a wonderful, triumphant masterpiece of a game. Is my best friend growing up I call him that. I don't know if he would call me that. Life is complicated and long, right? But, oh no, again, yeah, see, as we see. Oh yeah, so it continues, I forgot how they worked. Yeah, we're just going to be able to push through the game no matter how bad we do. Which is fine, because the thing about Ikaruga is it's really tough later on. Is it too loud? It's probably slightly too loud. It's probably way too loud. I really should have checked this. Well, now I'm terribly embarrassed. I should have checked this beforehand. Well, fortunately, I'm not very good at this. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine, right? I'm just gonna... Maybe that's better. Hopefully it wasn't super loud. But, if it was, I'm sure people are capable of turning it down. But I looked over at the balances and they were intense. So the fun in Ikaruga is that you swap back and forth, right? And getting hit by any one of the other things just pops you. We're on a timer too, so I gotta... bad. So although you always have, you know, more than one color going on, you have to pick what the dangerous thing is. I never played Ikaruga in the arcade. I bet it was awesome. I bet it was expensive. And we destroyed Ebushinori, the name of the first boss, I guess. I would not have done that off the top of my head. But anyway, we're just going to power through the game. Ikaruga's a pretty short game. You see, I get a C. I forget how many levels there are. There aren't a ton. But I was playing Undertale, and it just made me think of Ikaruga so much, and I wanted to play it. But I figured I would turn the difficulty away because, well, Ikaruga's hard. Hopefully it'll still count how many times I die, even though I continue. So I've continued twice already with 3 continue lives. Just a poor showing. Ah. So that part there, although I didn't get hit on it, I do have the advantage of having played this game several times in the past, because that is a place that I remember dying at, as are all of these places. Ah! Well, you know, I was almost doing okay. That's more like how I expected this to go. I was doing surprisingly well. I mean, not like for a player of Ikaruga, but for me. Although I have played this game in the past, like not like an absolute ton, but a lot. I would not have said at any point in my life that I was good at Ikaruga. As you can see here, there's just elementary stuff in the second level that I don't remember how to do right. Ah, that was the right move at the absolute wrong time. So I guess you could say not the right move at all. I need to remember to do the big move more often. The big enemy is approaching at full throttle. And this boss is like super fun, right? Because you have to like crawl in here and shoot, but then it squeezes. And you have to dodge the shots in the middle, and then you have these things, which are a lot of fun too, let me tell you. But you have the satisfaction of almost doing it kind of right sometimes, and that is worth some amount. Ah, there you go. Proving that I don't actually know how to do it. and then I just crashed in. Which again is not ideal. But anyway, Undertale reminded me of this. I didn't expect it to whenever it was described, you know, as generally a JRPG with some other genre elements, but after playing it, I thought, you know, I definitely want to die just a lot of times in Ikaruga. That sounds like a time. But Ikaruga is like a legend. And we do not get a bonus for destroying the boss. The game will let you just go through, I guess. I had forgotten that about it. But, you know, you're awarded no boss killing points. But, you know, that's free play. I thought, you know, maybe just don't do that. And then I was like, you know, if I try to play Ikaruga legitimately, I won't get out of the second level. And I was right. I wouldn't have. I just wanted the reminder of the game. I didn't want the challenge of it. But it'd give me some time, because I'm invincible, to talk about how much I recommend this game to anyone who thinks, you know, one, that they're good at shooters, or that they want to be, or that cares about, like, historically important video games. Ikaruga was a major, major thing, as far as I know. Not like in sales or anything, but in influence. Like, a lot of people were really impressed by it. I believe it was like a critical darling. I was also like a teenager and was doing a bunch of other stuff when it was in its heyday. But if I had gotten this whenever I was like, you know, 8, oh yeah, that's right. You can't run into them. Even when you're at the right polarity, you can't run into them. Of course you can't. Why would you be able to? So bad. And that's why I decided, like, why would I even count the amount of continues I'm going to use? Anyway, I just wanted to show you what Ikaruga looks like. And that's what we're doing. Just imagine that you had to pay every time that you failed a few times. I never played Ikaruga in arcades. But just imagine that. And think, wow, how did anybody ever go to an arcade ever? Of course, I used to be like slightly better than this. Not a lot better than this. I don't want to give you the impression again. I hope at no point in this video did I ever say, I know what I am doing. I've played Ikaruga before. and the timing on this is something that I struggle with really bad. Normally not this badly, but again, I haven't played this game in a really long time. But also, again, I was never very good. But we'll probably not get this one either. We're going way too slow. Absolutely terrible. And then we were shooting at ones we already popped, and then running physically into them. Yeah, there's no way we're doing it fast enough. Anyway, you know all the things in the middle that you would think, hey, you wouldn't run into those in a spaceship because it would hurt you? Yeah, you can't run into them in a spaceship. It hurts you. Although I don't think the thing you use in Ikaruga is like a spaceship. I think it's like, you know, in atmosphere. I'm going to confess to not knowing nearly as much about this game as, well, anybody else in the world. But again, you're not going to learn about Ikaruga for watching me play this. You're just going to see someone play Ikaruga badly for a little while. We fail to kill the boss again and move forward. Because infinite continues are infinite. The game just like pities you by blowing all the things up whenever you die. It's like, look, man, what does it even matter? But anyway, this is why this genre of game is called bullet hell. I'm glad I put all the continues on to remind me of why I don't play this genre of games anymore. I just remember sitting around for hours failing at this specific level. But I'm sure there are people that still play this to this day that are, you know, actually good. It must be shocking to see. You know, I knew what to do, and yet in an entirely similar way. Even with infinite continues, I can just barely ever get through anything. It's like the game's got a mercy kill rule for a reason. It's like, look, you're an embarrassment. We're just not going to give you an achievement. And now the big enemy is approaching. Watch as I fail to kill it also. So this one is like, sort of, I'm hilariously outmatched. I don't even remember how it works. Alright, you've got a... You gotta go through these, which they change their polarity in little bolts, so you have to sort of like move your ship through the very, very small thing that's you're the shape of. How did I ever beat this? Did I? I remember doing it, but did I? Did I like save state it? Was this... Maybe this was the thing where I was like, finally like, I'm just gonna save state it and then never play again. But anyway, people used to do this for fun. I'm like, how does it even work? Yeah, because you have to, yeah, you shoot it there and it opens up and it's just like, at no point were we close to making it happen at all, right? I could barely even remember that that's what's supposed to happen. And yeah, this game, totally ridiculous. Anyway, I'm failing as a pilot. We are also awarded no points or achievements again, and given a C. That's how generous this game is. It's like, after all that, hey, do you want a C? You can have a C. And now we move on to the final chapter. Like I said, Ikaruga is a short game. It's a short game because most people will never beat it unless they turn the infinite continues off. And that is why I am doing it right now, because it occurred to me that I could just bash it out quickly. And then I will have kept the promise I made to myself when I bought Ikaruga for $4.99 that I would play it again someday to relive all the good old days of suffering, but not like they were then, you know, in a different and more healthy way. Very. Anyway, and so this is just like a fun game of Snake, right? Only I'm bad at it. This is a part that I remember knowing how to do slightly, although you would not believe it by watching what I'm doing here. No, of course you would not. And now Angry Bug Thing is angry. How did I drop that? That's terrible. It's like, this part's so easy, there's no reason to be taking hits here. Ridiculous. Embarrassing. Anyway, and then the game rewards you briefly with explosions. I'm again awarded 0 points. We were supposed to understand it. Can we see the liberty and freedom? Ikaruga asks us that. And then once again, fortunately, the shooter is on a rail, preventing us from truly failing. And it awards you 500,000 points just for showing up. And then, you know, heroic explosions. Is this what we wished for? Don't worry, we will understand each other someday. And the life has succeeded into the distant future. And that's Ikaruga. So you saw me die just like so many times, right? I love this game. It's so hard. I don't see myself ever trying to like be able to properly play it again. But whenever I was playing Undertale earlier today, I knew I had it on my Steam library and I wanted to play it. And you know, I might not ever play it again. But there it is. I did want to say, if you're watching and you're an aficionado of classic games of any kind, or of difficult games, or especially of like bullet hell shooters, I consider Ikaruga to be a very important entry into that genre, sort of historically. And I think, you know, if you wanna take on a challenge that I'm not willing to take on, you know, Ikaruga will provide it. And it's kind of making me want to watch somebody play it and not be bad at it. But that person's not going to be me. But that's all for this one. We're not going to play it again right now, or maybe ever. But I'm glad I finally did what I set out to do a long time ago. Ikaruga was on my Steam wishlist for like 10 years. It was the longest sitting game on my wish list for a long time, because, like I said at the beginning, it's important in like the history of my life. Yeah, there we go. And there's chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 4. You're able to now go, you know, level by level and practice them. But there we go. It doesn't say how many times we died, but it's still pretty bad. You know, it says we got 3.2 million points. None of these points count. But I will say, you know, once more, if you think you would fancy a game that's hard like this, you know, maybe give Ikaruga a shot. I finally bought it a couple years ago after it being on the list forever, and had a good time. So there it is. This is a game that me and my friend used to play a fair bit, and I used to be better at it, but not very much better. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're listening to me live, I'm about to stream something else here in just like 10 minutes, but that's going to do it for this. So see you guys.